going to move forward in terms of approving legislation. Let us sit in the chamber. Let all the committees be up and doing. Let's work assiduously to accomplish assignments referred to us as committees. All committee chairmen should do well to deal with all the outstanding referrals. Let's ensure that within the 8 weeks, we achieve as much as is humanly possible. Mr. Speaker, I cannot conclude by also welcoming our friends among the press corps. We will not be able to succeed in this meeting without your support. We will also welcome the parliamentary staff, many of whom, even during the recess, sacrificed precious time to work with certain committees, including the Public Accounts Committee. I know the Security Intelligence Agency committees. I also know that the Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs committees and others were all busy working on bills that were referred to them during the recess. I want to welcome all our staff who have always supported us to succeed as a parliament, and to assure them that we will work together and ensure that this meeting is an action-packed meeting. This meeting is a successful meeting, and this meeting achieves a lot for the people of Ghana. I thank you very much, and I welcome all of you.
Thank you. Thank you, leaders. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, my colleague, the Majority Leader, forgot to welcome Honorable Member for Pandai back into the chamber. I wanted to draw his attention.
Honorable Minority Leader, you are completely out of order. Honorable members, let's go to item numbered 4. Message from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable members, it reads, Right Honorable Speaker, absence from Ghana. In accordance with Article 59 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I write to formally notify you of my intention to travel to London, United Kingdom, on Sunday, 11th January 2026. I am expected to return to Ghana on Friday, 23rd January 2026. In my absence, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jenu-Poku Agyeman, shall perform my functions in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Addressed to the Right Honorable Speaker, Office of Parliament, Parliament House, Ghana. Honorable members, though the President has returned, the formal communication has been brought to Parliament, and it must be read and captured by the Hansard. Honorable members, we then proceed to take the correction of votes and proceedings and official reports. Honorable members, I have in my hand the vote and proceedings of Friday, 19th December 2025 for correction, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, Page 14. Page 15. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, page 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39 and 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. Now, members, in the absence of any correction, the vote and proceedings of Friday, 19 December 2025 is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, the official report of 18th December 2025 under correction. Honourable members, any correction? Yes. Honourable Roxanne Nelson, Kwame Eche Dapamoko.
Speaker, thank you. Speaker, may I take the House to page 7, column 1, page 7, line 4. That'll be line 4. The comment under my name. The word should be the outstanding matters that were raised. Page 7. The outstanding matters that were raised. Not was raised. And then again under the same column, paragraph 5, again the comment under my name, line 5, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs may do this on his behalf. May do this on his behalf. Then, Mr. Speaker, page 11, column 1, page 11, paragraph 3. Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. May we then move to item number 10. Mr. Speaker, I believe that will be all. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Any further correction? Honourable members, in the absence of any further corrections, the official report of Thursday, 18th December 2025, as corrected, is hereby adopted as the true record of proceedings. Honourable members, let's move to statement. Item numbered 8. Honourable members, I have a statement, more or less a tribute in memory of the late Honorable Nazar Ture Mahama, to be taken by Honorable Jaja. Honorable, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I read a tribute statement of the late
colleague of ours, Honorable Alhaji Nasser Ture Mahama. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Alhaji Nasser Ture Mahama was a distinguished businessman, political leader, devoted family man, and committed servant of the people of Ayawaso East. His life was marked by excellence, humility, discipline, and unwavering dedication to public service. From the boardroom to Parliament, and from his constituency to his home, he lived a life of purpose and impact, quietly shaping communities, institutions, and lives for decades. Honorable Ture hails from Kwi, a community in the northern region of Ghana, but was born on Wednesday, 17th March 1965 in Nima 441. He was raised within the rich cultural and moral framework Ghanaian values, hospitality, integrity, leadership, and communal responsibility. These formative influences shaped the strong character that would later define his political and business leadership. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ture began his basic education at Kanda 1 and 2 Primary School and later proceeded to West African Senior Secondary School, where we call WAS, in Accra. With a strong desire to broaden his horizon, he traveled extensively to Syria, Jordan, and Japan, gaining valuable work experiences that shaped his worldview, discipline, and commitment to service. After years abroad, he returned to Ghana in the year 2000 and soon aligned with the developmental vision of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. In the year 2006, he began active service in the party, earning the trust of members and community leaders through dedication, humility, and hard work. His unwavering commitment to the betterment of his people led to his election to Parliament in the year 2012. He entered into this house in the Safe Parliament 7th January 2013, where he represented his constituency with excellence, the good people of Ayawaso East. He was a devoted Muslim throughout his life, guided by the principle of faith, service, compassion, and humility. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nasser Ture believed deeply in lifelong learning. Despite his early successes in business and leadership, he continued to invest in his education and professional development with academic institutions like London Center of Management, Zone Investment Ghana, International University of the United States, Center of Energy, Petroleum and Mineral Law and Policy, and in Boston, USA. This academic pursuit laid the foundation for his remarkable competence, particularly in the energy and petroleum sector. Areas that later influenced significantly both in Parliament and in private enterprise. Before enduring his political career, Honorable Nasser Ture distinguished himself as an astute businessman. He was the managing director of the Aminasa Group of Companies, a thriving company he nurtured into a respected national brand. Under his stewardship, the group grew into a multifaceted business empire with a strong community impact. The major companies under the group include Aminasa Oil and Gas Company Limited, Aminasa Mats, Aminasa Construction, Aminasa Forest Bureau, and OTA Forex Bureau. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ture was more than a managing director. He was a visionary leader who held policy, empowered staff, created employment, supported young entrepreneurs, and demonstrated measurable excellence in Ghana's private sector landscape. His passion for community growth, fairness, and national development led him into politics. He became a dedicated member of the National Democratic Congress, serving his party and constituency with passion and humility. In 2012, he was elected as the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East constituency in Accra, a passion he held with honorable distinction for 4 consecutive terms, serving until his demise in the year January 2026. Mr. Speaker, during his tenure, Honorable Mahama Turi served on a number of committees, including the Committee on Energy, where he was the vice chairman until he died, Committee on Roads and Transport as a member, House Committee, Private Members Bill and Private Members Motion. He served on the Judicial Committee and many others. Mr. Speaker, he also served on several boards, including the Petroleum Commission and Energy Commission. He was known among his colleagues as the calm, respectful, principled, and thoughtful legislator, one who preferred service to noise and impact to popularity. His contribution in the Energy and Mines Committee were particularly notable, reflecting his deep knowledge in the petroleum regulation, upstream negotiation, and the energy sector management. Honorable Nasser Toure served the people of Ayawaso East with extraordinary dedication. He was fatherly, approachable, generous, and available to all. He provided education support and scholarship, offered job opportunities through his business, and immensely supported community organizations and youth groups. His constituents remember him for the following notable projects: infrastructure and sanitation improvements, roads and traffic upgrades, community facility enhancement, bridge and local links, sanitation and engagement focus, parliamentary roles and influence, health, and many others. Mr. Speaker, behind this public figure was a revered family, a devoted family man. Honorable Mahama was married to his beloved wife, Ajia Amina Adam Macnaza, for over 25 years now. The home was one filled with love, mutual respect, and partnership. He was blessed with a son and a daughter, and again, one adopted daughter. As a father, he was caring, present, loving, and protective. His children remember him as their guide, teacher, provider, and a hero. Honorable Nasser Toure fought his final illness with strength, dignity, and faith. Mr. Speaker, on Saturday, 4th January 2026, after a brief period of sickness, he passed away at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. His transition marks the end of an era, but his legacy, values, and impact remain deeply entrenched in the hearts of his family, his constituency, his business community, and colleagues over here in Parliament. Honorable Nasser Toure lived a life worth celebrating, a life of service, excellence, humility, a devotion to both God and humanity. He was a pillar of strength, a beacon of leadership, and a blessing to all who encountered him. Mr. Speaker, let me end this with some 2 verses from the Quran. Quran chapter 20, verse 55, saying, Minha halaknakum, wa fiha nu'idukum, wa minha nukhrijukum taratan ukhra. To which, Mr. Speaker, this means from the earth we created you, and into the earth we will return you, and from it, the earth, we will extract you another day. That is Quran chapter 20, verse 55. Mr. Speaker, permit me to quote the last verse, coming from Quran chapter 2, verse 156, which says, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Again, to wait, Mr. Speaker, Allah says, indeed, to him Allah will belong, and to him shall we return. With this, Mr. Speaker, let me say, may the Almighty Allah grant our colleague, Honorable Mama Nasa Toure, Jannat al-Firdaus. May the good Lord forgive his shortcomings, and may the good Lord bless his family and all who mourn him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, statement ably made. It is now for comment. I give the floor to Honourable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejra.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend my brother, the Deputy Minister for Tourism and Creative Art, Honorable Jaja, for this tribute on behalf of all of us, and for our honorable colleague, my immediate past Vice Chair of Energy Committee. Mr. Speaker, the late Honorable Nasa Toure Mahama met us in this house. When in the 9th Parliament, I was asked to chair the Energy Committee. He had been a member of the Energy Committee, the Vice Chair and Deputy Ranking Member of that committee. Mr. Speaker, when I took over as the Chair of the Energy Committee, with vast experience and knowledge in the energy sector, both petroleum and power sector, I rely heavily on him. Mr. Speaker, the last budget, I was asked to represent Parliament somewhere else. And he, as my Vice Chair, the Vice Chair of the committee, have to take over and perform his duty. Little did we know that that was the last duty, or official duty, he will be performing on this floor. Mr. Speaker, just as my colleague has mentioned, Honorable Nasa Toure is a calm personality. Anytime we go for meeting and we needed some understanding in depth, he's the one we rely on, be a member of that committee for 4 consecutive periods in the House. Mr. Speaker, we have lost a gem. We have lost someone who has knowledge in the field of petroleum and power. On the 4th of January, Sunday, I was driving to church when I heard the news that your Vice Chairman has passed on. Then quickly I made 2 calls and it was confirmed. I was really shocked because even though our colleague was not in the best health situation, anytime we have committee meetings, even outside, Honorable Jaja, Honorable Nasa Toure would like to be at that committee meeting, sometimes at the peril of his own life. He travels with us, and you see him traveling back to Accra, and then returning to committee meetings or even our rounds when we are visiting some installations under our committee. He's one person who you will not find him being angry. Sometimes, at provocation from our other colleagues, you just say, Honorable Chairman, calm down. This thing we have done it before, and we'll do it again. Honorable Chairman, calm down, calm down. Don't mind them. We've done this thing before. That's the person we have lost. We can only say, may his soul rest in peace. And we pray that his family will take solace in the fact that he has performed his duty and he has received a higher calling to perform there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Matthew Nyindam.
Mr. Speaker, I am traveling out of town, and this is an important tribute that I want to really comment on. So if you give me the opportunity, so I can leave. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, it's unfortunate I have to make these comments at a time that my respected brother is no more with us. But one thing I need to put across is that when we come into this chamber with our party colors hanging around our neck, we make best friends across the aisle. Our colleague and I struck a great accord when we entered into this chamber together in 2013. We bonded. He will come home, we will eat together. I'll go to his house, we'll eat together. Hajia will cook and say, "Leader, come and eat." Mr. Speaker, the only time that Honorable Naza will not pick my call, especially when I became a majority leader, was when I found myself in crisis and I needed him. And after operations, he will pick my call and say, "Leader, this one, forgive me." And I said, "I understand." Mr. Speaker, he kept talking about his daughter, a very beautiful, hard-working daughter. And I kept talking about my son. Little did we know, Mr. Speaker, that both kids were pursuing a medical program, and the same prestigious university had admitted them for their medical education. As if coincidence, because he would come to me and say, "Oh, Leader, your daughter wants to do medicine. She passed the IB." And I say, "Oh, your son also made it. We are trying to get admission for him, and he's gone through the interview." It was only, Mr. Speaker, when we traveled out of town, we met, and here we were. The kids have met the same university doing medicine. So if I'm unable to visit and Hajia gets there, Hajia will take care of my son and take care of their daughter, and vice versa. I knew my brother was a bit under the weather, but I wasn't expecting that the Lord Almighty would summon him so soon. So, Speaker, before we rose, in fact, even on that day, he was with me. We spoke at length. When the kids came for vacation, we were supposed to meet. The understanding was that we were going to meet and have a joint family meeting for the Christmas, because all the kids were back from school. Then that unfortunate morning, the text message came from Hajia that, "Leader, your brother is gone." How? Very sad. The Speaker, I've never been to a cemetery since I became an adult. But I said, on this occasion, he is a true brother. And for me, there's nothing like friendship. You must honor it to the casket, even at the peril of your life. Friendship, a true friend, is difficult to find. So, Mr. Speaker, I went to the Medina Cemetery where my brother had been brought for final rites, and I made sure I touched him and helped lower him into his grave with honor. Let me thank the family members for allowing me the opportunity to be part of that last rite of honor. I felt satisfied because he was a true brother who shared with me the relevant code of life. The Speaker, that said, I would want to urge all of us, the work we do in this chamber is very demanding. Let's find time to do our checkups. Let's find time to exercise. Don't let us underestimate the work we do. Mr. Speaker, 2 years or so ago, I was part of colleagues who went for a training program in the United States, met some senators. And when we shared experiences, we realized that those of us from this part of the world take political leadership for granted. One senator said he had a psychic advisor, had a psychiatrist, had a communication director, has a sports whatever, etc. All these are specialists that he pays them to assist him because the workload is not easy. Your mental health. Constituents are coming to you for money. Constituents are coming to you for everything. You need to prepare yourself for this chamber. Sometimes the money is not even there. Mr. Speaker, there have been times that I had gone to Winneba, shared money, and on my way back, my driver had told me that, Chief, fuel no akofum, they also read. Not once, not twice, several, that I did not have money at the time. Mr. Speaker, there are a lot of sad stories that my colleagues here know we go through. So I will beg of all of us, we have a family to live for. Let us not assume that this political engagement is trivial. It is not. Don't let us take it for granted. Let's look at all areas and take care of them so that we'll be effective in this chamber. Because the law is clear, very mandatory. If you are not there, they say 30 days. People will be fighting for your seat in primaries and all. So, Mr. Speaker, that said, may the gentle soul of our brother rest in perfect peace. He was such a great soul, very loving, caring, affable, easy of address, courteous in manners, and able to accommodate friends on all sides. And I loved the friendship we struck. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this gracious opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Minority. I will then give the floor to Deputy Minister for Lands, Alhaji Sule.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm grateful for this opportunity. Let me first of all thank the Deputy Minister for Tourism who read this very important tribute. And let me also thank my senior colleagues who have already said very good things about our brother, Honorable Alhaji Naza Ture Mahama. Indeed, for me as a Muslim, I want to bear witness to the good things that he's done as a Muslim. I am the chairman of the Muslim caucus, and so it is imperative for me to bear witness to what he's done as a Muslim. But before I continue, I want to make reference to the Holy Quran, chapter 2, verse 155 to 156, who says that, وَاللَّهَ يَبْلُغُ لَكُم مِّن شَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْأَلْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَالنَّكِسِ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا حَصَبَتْهُم مُّصِيبَةٌ قَالُوا إِنَّا لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. To it, and we certainly shall test you with anger, with loss of fruits, with loss of lives, and with loss of so many things. But we expect that you should endure when we test you if you are a Muslim. And you should also know that it is from we, or from me, Allah, that you have come from, and it is to me that you will return. Again, the Quran says that every soul shall taste death. And so we were not surprised when our brother had to leave. Because Muslims were very certain that one day he will return to his Creator. And it's just for us all to know that when death is coming, it will not announce its arrival. And so for us as Muslims, we know it can come at any time. And if it has come and he's gone, we can only praise Allah for giving him to us and for making him use his life to serve his people the way he did. Right, Honorable Speaker, I said to myself and to all of us that I am here to bear witness to what he's done as a Muslim. I can testify that Honorable Niger has fulfilled all the 5 pillars of Islam. He has said what we call the kalima, believing that there's none to worship but Allah, and that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger. He has done that several times, and I can bear witness to that. I can also bear witness to the fact that he was always with us in the mosque every Friday to pray. Sometimes by the time you get there, he's already seated there. Sometimes when you are leaving, he was just seated there supplicating. And so we want to bear witness that he fulfilled that other pillar of Islam. Again, when it comes to the payment of what we call zakat, we can also bear witness that he has fulfilled that pillar. Right, Honorable Speaker, when it comes to the performance of Hajj, he has also performed Hajj several times. And I remember last year or so, I was on the same flight with him going to Mecca to perform Umrah. It was only when we got to Medina that he wasn't feeling well. He had to return back to this country. It tells you how committed he was to his religion, how committed he was to serve Allah. That even when he was not well, he was still going to Mecca to go and worship his Creator. And that is the kind of person we're talking about. And so for me, inshallah, our colleague should be in paradise. Inshallah. Again, his contribution to the Muslim caucus. He served on several committees at that level. Anytime there was a meeting, Honorable Niger was always there, and he contributed immensely to our discussions. There were very sensitive issues that came up at our meetings, and my colleagues here would bear me witness how calm he was in addressing those issues. And so, today, if we have lost him, we can only praise Allah, because we did nothing and he was given to us, and we did nothing and God has taken him. We need to praise God, and I can assure you that it is a place all of us will go. It was his time to go, and he's gone. We pray that the good Lord will have mercy on him and grant him Jannat al-Firdaus. We want to also share our condolences with the wife, the children, and the family, and to say that God will replace him in a manner that they will be okay. With these few words, once again, I want to thank my uncle, Honorable Yusuf Jaja. I want to thank my senior colleagues who have shared their experiences with our brother who today as we speak, inshallah, is resting with his Creator. Thank you.
Thank you. It's now the turn of Honorable Matthew Nyindam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to also pay tribute to my good friend, Alhaji Nasser. Mr. Speaker, myself and Alhaji came to the chamber the same day. And when we all walked in, I didn't know him. So when they mentioned that he's the MP for Kwanda, he walked to me and told me that I was his MP, and told me his roots in Pandai.
And then it was the conflict, the 1992 conflict, that brought him back to Accra. And since then, he's never gone back to Pandai. Mr. Speaker, from that day, Alhaji took me as a brother. Anytime we met at the coffee shop, he spoke to me as a brother. Mr. Speaker, although we are all politicians and we all belong to political parties, Alhaji was not that excessively partisan. He took everybody as a brother. He's not the loud type. Alhaji will not speak much, but Alhaji made a lot of wisdom. He's very calm, very gentle, very affable. Mr. Speaker, for death, just like we all will say, it is a journey we all embark on. But after you are no more, what will people say about you is so important. I pray, and I'm with the family. Mr. Speaker, when I heard that Alhaji was no more, I wished I had the opportunity to accompany Alhaji to his resting place. But unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, I was in crisis. So there was no way I could avail myself to accompany Alhaji. Mr. Speaker, there is this belief in Islam that when they are going to the cemetery, as many as you can, you accompany the dead body to the cemetery. And it's something I appreciate a lot. I appreciate a lot. Although Alhaji is not with us, I don't know the family personally. I wish and pray that the good Lord will be with them, and may the good Lord give him a perfect rest, and may his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm not adding my voice to the tribute that being said here. I think when we went to conclave, we were very clear on what the items that were taken out. The admission of this statement wasn't part of it, but I think what we know, I was there throughout. I think we're staying far too long in the day. So I want to agree with you. I've also seen an admittance of a report over here. If I rise up to talk about an issue of this nature, I was out there at the people taking their blood pressure and observing what is happening there. I would like to plead with you that we try and then wrap up and not help people rest for the day. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Leader, the time for sitting is 5 hours. Have we exceeded the 5 hours?
Speaker, indeed we haven't. But Speaker, let the record reflect that it was agreed that we'll take this statement because it was about a colleague.
Well, it's not a matter of agreeing to take the statement because a colleague or not. Our standing orders are clear that sitting hours is 5 hours.
We haven't exceeded.
So it is only when we exceed the 5 hours that we can talk about extension of the sitting.
I agree.
But today we started after 2 o'clock or getting to 3 o'clock. So, Honorable Deputy Leader, we are still within the prescribed 5 hours of sitting. We have not exceeded it. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well guided.
Yes.
But I would like to also remind ourselves that when we agree to do business of the day to a certain point, we should try and adhere to it. Thank you.
Yes. This takes me to Order 55.3, which reads, a sitting of the House shall ordinarily be for 5 hours. We can all look at it. So if at pre-sitting, you've agreed on something else. We are masters of our own rules. Majority Leader, what is the agreement at pre-sitting? Majority Leader, has there been a decision at pre-sitting that will sit below the 5 hours as prescribed by Order 55.3?
No, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry?
You agreed at pre-sitting? Who were there at pre-sitting?
No.
I wasn't there, so I'm not bound by any decision that was taken. No, but why do you want to leave early? This is the first day. You've been on recess for a very long time now. You've been resting throughout. The first day you come and you are eager to leave. Or you spend your time campaigning, engaging in presidential primaries. You should have known that there's parliament also.
Well, honourable members, let's conclude it by
let's conclude there.
taking
comments. Yeah.
Let's take two more comments.
Honourable
Two more comments. Yeah.
Hajia Ladi Ayamba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the tribute statement ably made by my colleague, Honorable Jaja. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Alhaji Nazar Toure was one of the individuals whom one can refer to and reflect about when it comes to his gentility. This is a man who spoke very gently, and it's one of the observations I had made about him. What he will simply tell me, if even we met, was, Hajia, Yade, Hajia, how are you? Honorable Nazar Toure was always present, basically at all our committee meetings on roads and transport. Mr. Speaker, I recall during one of our fasting seasons, we were in the chamber here and it was very late. All of us as Muslims wanted to just leave and go to break our fast. When we went to the coffee shop to get some water, he said, Hajia, Gira, I matanaza takawa abinchi. To wait, Hajia, please wait. My wife is going to bring some food. And we were surprised. More than enough was given. She brought the food. We sat together. And it was so nice. Honorable Nazar Toure never ever raised his voice and will ensure that he speaks calmly no matter what was being discussed. It has been said, and as my colleagues have mentioned, I haven't been to an Arabic school. I am a staunch Muslim, although, and I believe that there is a time and season for everything. So is it that with life, much as we do not know when it was given, and we believe that at the time the Almighty Allah made that seed to be planted, you didn't know. And nobody has ever known. He and He alone, the Almighty Allah, has also stated clearly, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From Him, each and every one of us have come from, and to Him we shall return. There is no time there is no day, there is no place, there is no circumstance that is known by any individual as to how, when, where you will pass. You owe death if you do not owe anybody. And each and every one of us must be ready. For that matter, it is a lesson for all of us. And all that I can say is that let us believe that as we hear, as we see, as we observe, others pass. So is it incumbent on us that one day, no matter what, whether you are ready or not, you will also pass. The only prayer we have is that all the good things that we do on earth should follow us into our final resting places. So is it that I pray that the Almighty Allah grants our brother, Honorable Nazar Toure, Jannatul Firdaus, and that he should also grant us living, long life, and prosperity, and that one day, when it is our turn, we shall also go in peace. My condolences to his wife, the family, and each and every one. Now, thank you for the statement and for listening to me. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Niashi Kote. And then I'll come to leadership.
Thank you. I want to take the opportunity to thank my big brother, the Honorable Deputy Minister, Honorable Jaja, for the statement made. And I also want to add my voice to say that may the soul of Honorable Nazar Toure Mahama rest well in the bosom of Allah. As I entered Parliament, I remember how he met me, stretched forth his arms and welcomed me and said, "Gentlemen, you are welcome to Parliament." He shared how he observed the elections in my constituency, Ododo-Odio. And I recall very well how he said, "You are such a strong young man. Meanwhile, I know I am quite calm and reserved and all that." But Mr. Speaker, getting to know him well, even though people had said that I was too calm for a constituency like Ododo-Odio, I said no. For a man presiding over a constituency which is predominantly a Muslim community, I felt it was a little too calm for that. He will call me, he will advise, as you are here, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that, this is the way to go. And I saw a father figure in him. So indeed, he was fatherly. Truly, he was very approachable, and I must also confess that he was humble and affectionate. When I became a member of the leadership of the Greater Accra MP's caucus, I will confer with him, he will share with me and guide me as to the way to go. The news, obviously, of his death became shocking to all of us. I recall when the call came, I said, no, it can't be true. Then I started calling honorable colleagues. When it was confirmed, in fact, I became, for want of a better word, disabled. I couldn't move, I couldn't think. We have lost a great leader. We have lost a calm but a gentleman. We have lost a man with a wealth of knowledge and experience, just as have been praised. We take solace in the fact that his legacy will speak well of him. I wish the family, especially the wife and daughter, my deepest condolences. And on behalf of the Greater Accra MP's caucus, we say, Inshallah, he should indeed be in paradise. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister for.
Thank you very much,
Employment.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to contribute to the statement and to say that this man who lived and died as a great man. In Shakespeare, a character said, all the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players. But a man in his life plays many parts. And in the life of Honorable Mahama Toure, he played many parts. He played several parts out of the country. It dawned on him to come to Ghana, and he came to Ghana. Contributed his quota, represented his people, committed himself to their service and to God's service. Mr. Speaker, I interacted with him severally, and especially when we served in the same committee. And as a member of the Energy Committee at the time, we worked very closely together. He is not a man who talked much, but he's a man who taught much. And in his personal life, he did so much that I believe his family would lose him a lot. And I wish to first of all extend my deepest condolences to his wife and kids for everything he represented in their lives and for the huge loss in their lives. Mr. Speaker, one thing I learned from him is that no matter who you are, continue to be humble. I have a symbolic representation in that aspect in my own life. But in the life of Mohamed Toure, he showed that in his wealth, he was still himself. In his endeavor as a politician, he was still himself. He lived a life that a man who rises to see what he has done can only salute him. And in this contribution, I want to wish him well in the sight of Allah. I know that by what he represented, by everything he did it because he thought that one day he would no longer be on earth here. And this has taught us a lesson. And I believe we all have to learn that lesson. We've heard about great men who have passed on. One of the greatest who passed on was Alexander the Great, a man who ruled almost all the world. And before he got to 40 years, he died. And so his death is another reminder that as we all are here, we are marching towards one simple destination, a destination when we will be oblivious of this world, we will die, and our deaths will be forgotten by a future generation. It tells us that what will be left is the deeds we would have performed. And this man performed so much that in every member of his constituency you met would still tell you they wanted him to contest the elections. I've interacted with several of them during the funeral, and they regretted that he died so soon. And so, Mr. Speaker, let me extend my condolences to all of them, the constituents, his father, his wife, his kids, and everybody who thinks so much about him and who has been touched by his exit of this world. May his great soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Yes, minority leadership. Well, I'll turn to in the absence of any further contribution from the minority side, I'll give the floor to Honorable Doyo, being that of the majority leadership.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I would like to thank Honorable Jaja, the Deputy Minister of Tourism, for this statement. Mr. Speaker, it is with deep sadness that we say goodbye to a wonderful colleague and friend, late Honorable Nazar Turi. Mr. Speaker, in 2013, we were ushered in as new MPs, and in Greater Accra, we were 5. Honorable Neil Ante Van Der Poy, Honorable Christian Otute, Honorable Yimanrani Ashimo, Honorable Nazar Turi, and myself. Mr. Speaker, we grew ourselves together as sisters, brothers, and colleagues, and we have worked together. Along the line, 3 were out, and I was left with Honorable Nazar. And recently, in this 8th Parliament, he became our caucus chairman. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nazar, as a caucus chairman, was so wonderful. His dedication, kindness, and humor, Mr. Speaker, you can't take it away from him. He brought some calmness in the caucus. Anytime he's available, you see that the place is different because he's a different person altogether. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Nazar, little did I know he will pass away. We were here before we went on recess. And before then, I could remember when he wanted to be the chairman of the Energy Committee and he couldn't get it. And we said, oh, you will get a board, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So no problem. But Honorable Doyo, I would like that board to go to my spouse, which is my wife. And I said, why? You are the MP. He said, no, I want everything to go to her so that she can take good care of the children. But he didn't add when I'm no more. And I didn't know he was even going to pass. Mr. Speaker, in fact, I received the news with shock. That day, I started running because he was somebody who I can call a brother, a friend, a father, and anytime, any day, anything he will consult me, leader, what do you think? I also consult him as a caucus chairman, what do you think? And we'll work together, do everything together. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Jaja has left a huge vacuum when it comes to unity and work. Honorable Nazar, sorry. No. Honorable Nazar, because they have been friends, so don't worry. Honorable Nazar have left a huge vacuum. Honorable Nazar have left a huge vacuum. Mr. Speaker, I will take the opportunity to console the wife, the family, and the children. I now understand why he keep telling me that if anything, push it to my wife. And now understand why he keep telling me that if anything, push it to my wife. You said a board member, push it to my wife. And I said, why? He said, no, just give it to my wife. Not knowing he knows what is going to happen. And I think now he will be resting in the bosom of the Lord. And I wish the wife and the children well, the family and NDC in Ayawaso is well, and God should console all of us. Yes, that's what he said, that we should give everything to the wife. So, today, as we are here paying tribute to him, we will visit the wife as a caucus and then console the wife. Greater Accra Caucus, we will visit the wife and console the wife. He died when we were on recess, so we couldn't do the needful. So now before we will go to the house and do the needful. So Ayawaso East Constituency executives will fix a time and a date and meet all of them as a caucus and console all of them. So may his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, that brings us to the end of the statement. Statement time has ended. Yes, majority leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to crave your indulgence so that we'll take motion number 12. That's the Legal Education Reform Bill, the second reading of the bill. The report of the committee is ready. So if we could just take that one and then call it a day. It's the only substantive government business that would have been taken today. The chairman of the committee is here, then the minister.
Honourable Majority Leader, have you looked at the item numbered 9B?
19.
9B.
9B. Are laying?
Yes.
Are they ready?
It has not been laid, so the second reading is not due.
Okay. 9B, yes. Yes, Mr. Speaker. So we'll lay it.
Honourable members, minority side.
Yes, Speaker, we are not opposed to it.
Honourable members, at commencement of public business, item numbered 9B. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I think earlier on the Right Honourable Speaker had indicated that we would wait, and after a statement is made in honor of our colleague, then we'll request for a 1-minute silence.
Very well.
So if we could do that.
Thank you very much for that reminder. Honourable members, we will be on our feet to observe 1-minute silence. Honourable members, may his gentle soul rest in the bosom of the Almighty Allah. At commencement of public business, item number 9B, Chairman of the committee.
Reports of the Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs on the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025.
Honourable members, the report of the committee has been duly presented and it is now for distribution to honourable members. Yes, Majority Leader. Majority Leader, in the circumstances.
Speaker, I did not hear you.
Yes.
I'm saying so we can now take 12.
Honourable members.
11 and then after that 12. So the AG is here, the Minister for Justice is here to assist us with 11.
Yes, Honorable Jerry Ahmed Shaib.
Mr. Speaker, we are not opposed to it.
Honourable members, item numbered 11, Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that notwithstanding the provision in Order 1041 of the standing orders which requires that a motion shall not be debated until at least 2 sitting days have elapsed after the notice to move the motion is given, the motion for the second reading of the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 be now moved today. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, motion ably moved. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honourable members, this is a procedural motion. It is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, I'll put a question. As many as are in favor of the motion numbered 11 at page 3 of today's order paper, say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Now, the substantive motion numbered 12, standing in the name of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, we will now take motion number 12.
Yes, that is why I said the substantive motion, standing in the name of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. So I'm giving the floor to the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Yes?
I was just wondering if the chair has indicated this to the ranking, whether, because I'm sure he would have loved to contribute on this very important motion. I don't know if he's aware, because I mean, this obviously came at our blind side, but we also do not want to drag. So my only wish is that if we could just engage and perhaps have it scheduled for tomorrow, it's just tomorrow, so that you would have your members, committee members also debate on it. That's just my objective view, but if you think differently, that's okay.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, at business committee meeting, I did indicate strongly that today we will take the Legal Education Reform Bill and the report, and my counterpart agreed that we should go ahead. Everybody, including the chief whip, everybody was there. They agreed that we should go ahead. Yes, and the ranking was here. I even spoke with him in one of the corridors earlier on. So we need to move fast. This is really the problem, that we come and then we treat business, and then in the end we'll keep deferring, postponing, and then in the end, you know, the day we are going to rise, then we'll be forcing people to stay here till midnight. I don't want to. In fact, in the opening statement, we indicated that we're not going to adopt that approach. We're going to treat government business with dispatch. So, Mr. Speaker, I think we can take the second reading and then the committee's report, so that later on, when we come to the consideration stage, we can mobilize all the members. I plead with you, let us take it.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I have indicated my difficulty, but as you can see, they have the numbers. So if they still want to proceed, there is no objection on this matter. I thought that for purposes of communality and progress, we should also be thinking of all of this. If the ranking were to be around, I would have even felt more comfortable, because this is legal education, and he's a lawyer, you're a lawyer, the majority leader is a lawyer, the chief whip is a lawyer. This is about only an hour ago. I only cited this an hour ago, and we've even elapsed to say that we are not going to take it for the number of days it was supposed to be. But if you do not want us to, yes, I agree. We looked at item number 11, so we have considered that it should be elapsed, the time should be elapsed. But if time has been elapsed and we still want to proceed, it's okay. I mean, like I said, the normal thing is that you engage your ranking. But if you can say on record that you have engaged your ranking, that is okay.
Yes, Attorney General and Minister for Justice.
Right Honorable Speaker, I move that the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 be now read the second time. I so move.
Honourable members, motion moved. I will call on the chairman of the committee to present the committee's report.
Exceedingly grateful, Right Honourable Speaker. I rise to second the motion. And in
Second which motion? I call on you to present the committee's report.
Speaker,
this is motion for second.
I'm presenting the report, and I shall be very brief on this report. Speaker, your good self asked this committee, in accordance with Article 106.4 of the Constitution and Order 238 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, you refer the bill to your Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister for Justice and Attorney General, the Honorable Dominic Akrutinga Ayene, on Friday, 24th of October, laid this report. Mr. Speaker, your committee deliberated on it. We invited a number of people, including institutions. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the heads of various faculties of law in all the universities and training institutions of this country were present to deliberate on this. Mr. Speaker, let me encourage the Hansard Department to capture the entire report while I look at the critical areas. Legal education.
Honorable Chairman, the critical areas has been captured. In conclusion.
Mr. Speaker, critical areas captured.
Hansard has captured everything. You said the Hansard should capture everything.
May I conclude?
Just proceed to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, may I conclude by saying that the committee, having examined and satisfied itself with the fact that access to legal education has been restricted for the past many years. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, many years ago, you walked into the law school from faculty. Times have changed. There's a pinhole now where people get in and cannot come out. Mr. Speaker, this bill seeks to open up legal education. Speaker, we recommend the passage of Legal Education Reform Bill 2025, subject to the proposed amendments. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the motion has been moved. The chairman of the committee has also presented the committee's reports pursuant to Standing Order 1 through 7. A full debate shall arise on the principles of the bill on the basis of the explanatory memorandum and the report of the committee. Honourable members, accordingly, the floor is now open. Yes, Honourable Emmanuel Kwesi Bajra, MP for Ho West.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to also support the motion and also support this report. The principle behind the creation of the Legal Education Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, for those of us who are not non-lawyers, who are desirous to become lawyers, Mr. Speaker, have this fear that after you've done even your PhD, you have to go back to the university to do your first degree, 3 years in law, after which you'll be admitted at Mokola, the so-called Mokola School of Law. And even that one, it is tedious. And so, majority of us who want to be lawyers are not able to penetrate into that legal, environment. All because some group of people thinks that this is the preserve of some perceived people, and that if you do not belong to that group, you can never become lawyers. Mr. Speaker, for me, the report, the object of this bill states clearly, Mr. Speaker, if you permit me, paragraph 5, the object of the bill is to establish the Council for Legal Education and Training to regulate professional legal education in Ghana and provide a curriculum and standard for legal education. To achieve this objective, the bill proposed to move professional legal education and training from Ghana School of Law, known as Mokola, to accredited universities. It introduced law practice training to be offered by accredited universities. Mr. Speaker, this is a novel. It's a novel because, for me as a quantity surveyor, you are trained either at the Tinker universities, any of the Tinker universities, in a specified field, and then you write your professional exam. It is only in legal education that you have to go to Mokola, and if you don't qualify to go to Mokola, you cannot become a lawyer. What is this? And you have to be in the market all the time. Because of that, we have KJTM lawyers and Mokola lawyers. Now, we the KJTM lawyers, we want to become Mokola lawyers. And so, if my university, at the University of Health and Allied Sciences...
Who is a Mokola lawyer and who is a KJTM lawyer?
Mr. Speaker, you watch the movie on Ghana television, a comedy that says that we have KJTR lawyers.
We are not debating on the principle of movie. We are debating the explanatory memorandum and the report of the committee.
And so, Mr. Speaker, those of us who want to become lawyers have the opportunities now to at least gain admission to accredited universities to be given opportunity to be lawyers. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support this bill wholeheartedly and ask all my colleagues to vote for this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bajra. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to the report currently before the House on the reforms to our legal education in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as a young lawyer, I would say that these reforms are late in coming. Mr. Speaker, some of us went through the system of legal education at the time that we can say the system was choked. In fact, we had to write serious exams, we had to go through interviews. all in an attempt to pass through a very narrow hole, which to me, Mr. Speaker, was brought upon us by our own selves. Mr. Speaker, legal education should be open to everyone, especially as a country that is on its forward march to becoming a full-fledged middle-income country. Mr. Speaker, legal education promotes legal awareness, and to the extent that it is imperative that as a society we become aware of the laws around us, there is every need for us to expand the scope of our legal education to give more opportunity to more people to become legally aware of the environment in which they live in. Mr. Speaker, until recently, the northern part of the country was never given the opportunity to have any form of legal education, even LLB. It was only until two years ago that the LLB program was introduced into the University for Development Studies. And I'm sure the first batch is even yet to graduate. So, Mr. Speaker, this reform, which would expand the scope and make even the professional level education available at these campuses, will further strengthen the Ghanaian populace, will further strengthen our legal education. And I am happy that these reforms are not only looking at training lawyers, but they are also strengthening the other stakeholders who are all involved in the provision of legal education in Ghana. And so, Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend the committee that put together this report, and more so with the extensive work that has been done in generating this report. I wish to commend them, and I call on all and sundry to join in embracing this call to expand the scope of our legal education in the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Mie.
I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute towards the subject matter. Mr. Speaker, I would also say that this bill is long overdue. When I entered the university to read law some over 25 years ago, the system was different. The only university offering law at the time was the University of Ghana, which would admit 60 students. Then after what we used to call baptism by fire, that is the first university exams, there would be some sort of separation where the first 40 would read LLB and the next 20, making up the 60, would have a combination of law and some other course. It wasn't a problem at the time. Over the years, the mode of admission has been problematic to the extent that the legal profession has been in the news lately for not so good reasons. It's unfortunate. And if you look at the statistics, in 2021, out of the total number of students that wrote the exam, the entry exam, 72% failed. In 2019, 93% failed. In 2023, 67% failed. It is welcoming that we finally have a bill which is streamlining legal education in this country. It is long overdue, and I say it is very welcoming for the fact that it is going to increase access to legal education. My only concern is that I hope it will not open the floodgates for worse things to happen as we have in some of our neighboring countries. You go to some of these places and everybody you meet tells you he has an LLB and he's a lawyer. I won't mention names. Mr. Speaker, it is a good opportunity for all persons who intend to read law to go through the process, not to go through a rigorous process of writing examinations and attending interviews. It is a good idea that this bill is being passed, because at the end of the day, it is only the universities that meet a certain criteria which has been specified in the bill that would be allowed to run programs of that nature, which would also help us churn out quality lawyers, even though the volumes are going to be a little bit bigger than we are seeing currently. In that light, I hope that our economy, our system, and this government, including successive governments, would put in place measures to absorb the volumes that this system is going to produce. During our consideration of the bill, I raised an issue to the effect that if you look at some of our institutions, the number of lawyers in there are woefully inadequate. You take the AMA, for instance, take the Kumasi Metropolitan Authority or Assembly, also for instance. Sometimes you have as little as 2 lawyers in there. I hope that all these would be taken into consideration so that this wonderful bill we have today, at the end of the day, does not become one that would worsen our problems. Mr. Speaker, I am very grateful.
Thank you so much, honorable members. We now give the floor to Honorable, is it Walasi? Yes. Honorable Kweli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to add my voice to the report of the committee, and so doing, would I faithfully stand behind the legal education bill to say it's in the right direction. Mr. Speaker, from all the speakers who rose before me, it remains a fact that this bill is long overdue. As a lawyer who acquired even my earlier legal education not in Ghana, have had some practical experiences outside Ghana, we have come to realize that the world has evolved beyond the static legal education that our common law fathers presented to us, may I say, the thereof, the thereafter, which had been handed over to us, for which even a lawyer-to-client ratio we have been unable to meet. This is not surprising that you go to court and your clients do not understand the basic legal principles for which they should answer you, a lawyer, for you to make reference to in arguing out your case. That is not a good society within the context of law. At least when the ratio of legal education, which means the ratio of lawyers to clients in the country, reflects the knowledge of the society on basic legal tenets of a particular society. And which means if we lack that ratio, by the fact that there are impediments in the way of more people acquiring legal knowledge, then we will lack that basic understanding as a country to move on in the process of our legal uprightness. Mr. Speaker, basically, education is about acquiring some knowledge and not a business in its entirety. But if you look at the Ghana legal system, it has become like an acquired business for which must be limited to a class or a people, a family, or a kind of court. And that is the worrying situation And that is where you see the complaints about students who have gone through LLB, which is the principles of law itself, but are unable to just run through the procedures of applying those principles. And that is the almighty Makola. In other jurisdictions, as I have been, legal education is free to all. But joining a bar association is where the professionals have their way of admitting those who want to practice with them. And if this bill and its reports is in that right direction, then Ghana is meeting up with the world. I'm a practicing lawyer in Rwanda. At least since 2018, I've been on the roll. The kind of education we have, I can't say has been that very strenuous like I had in Ghana. I earned my LLB with University of London. Those that handed the legal system to us. But even with Ghana legal system and constitutional law alone, I have not been stressed in University of London like I've been stressed there. And equitably, you could find out as a student that some of the impediments are just to take you off. I'm very glad the Attorney General and the committee as well have noticed all this and have come out with these reports and have opened out the access that we can argue out our point and make the recommended amendments to the bill so that our country, Ghana, can also open its doors and as people can access knowledge in legal education. And when they want to practice, they can join the professional association as well. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's now the turn of Honorable Fifi Bokman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I humbly want to add my voice in calling upon honorable members to support the adoption of the report of the Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs. Mr. Speaker, I must say that all procedural and institutional measures have been captured in the bill to ensure that quality legal education, both at the faculty and the practicing education, are captured. Mr. Speaker, this bill also shall be a great relief to parents and potential legal practitioners, as it will eliminate the psychological trauma which students go through as they go to face the almighty entrance exams at Makola. Mr. Speaker, this bill is one of the biggest reliefs to which His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is bringing in the legal fraternity or legal education fraternity. Mr. Speaker, it has been captured in the report, as has been captured in the report. Brilliant and professional ideas were sought. In fact, we had technical brains join the committee in deliberating over the bill. And respectfully, the discussions were very rich. The contributions were very apt to ensure that we come out with such a bill. Mr. Speaker, let me commend the Attorney General for this bold step, in coming out with this bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that legal education has also had its bite in the research agenda of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Mr. Speaker, the bill seeks to restore confidence by providing a clearer, more transparent, and predictable statutory framework. Mr. Speaker, it establishes an examination board that does not have anything to do with political interference. In fact, the examination board, as the bill seeks to provide or has established, would ensure that there is transparency, will ensure that there is equality and equity, will ensure that any person who wishes to go through the legal education, legal practice education to come out as a lawyer, comes out, without any fear or without any favor. And with this, I want to say that Ghana is blessed at this moment to have our Attorney General stand up boldly to say that this bill must come on. And I want to commend him again, commend the committee for the good work done, commend the institutions that have availed themselves for us to have this bill presented before this honorable house. Mr. Speaker, I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
I will then give the floor to Honorable James Enu.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. And Mr. Speaker, let me also add my voice to support the adoption of the report of the Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs on the Legal Education Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, the current law that regulates legal education now is Act 32 of 1960. So right from the word go, you can easily see that the law has outlived its usefulness. Looking at the fact that it's been on for the past about even more than 60 years. Mr. Speaker, two things are very striking. If you look at our illegal education now, we had challenges with access, and we also had challenges with quality. Now, one of the main purposes of this bill is to ensure that we are able to increase access and we are also able to improve quality. So the bill seeks to establish the Council for Legal Education and Training that will be responsible for legal training in the country. And I think this is a very, very good step because it takes over something similar to the American system. Because prior to this, we have a situation where power, when it comes to regulation of legal education and regulation of legal profession, was concentrated in the General Legal Council. But now we are going to break this monopoly of the General Legal Council to make sure that there is shared oversight responsibility. Mr. Speaker, I think that this is a very good step. So I pray that the House adopts this report accordingly. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Leadership.
Mr. Speaker, I would have wished to peruse this report critically before making some comments. I think that legal education, there is the need for reforms, but there is also no need to rush the report like I indicated earlier. So I'd rather waive any commentaries on this. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Before coming to the leader, I want to give the floor to Honorable Vundi. It's not in the chamber. Yes, Honorable Roxanne Nelson. You are not on the list.
Yes, leadership, Mr. Speaker, before the minister comes in.
So you are speaking for leadership?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said you. No. Okay.
So the two of you.
Mr. Speaker, then I rise on my own merits.
I am inclined to decline.
Mr. Speaker, it's a special appeal.
You have the floor.
Special appeal.
You have the floor.
We'll take Jerry's time.
You have the floor. In view of the fact that Jerry decided not to come.
Great. Mr. Speaker, let me indicate that law is a tool for social engineering, and it's become important that we do this to respond to the current social concerns in the country. Speaker, for some time now, you and I will draw you into this. We waged this battle from our 2017-2018, when news filtered through that there were some issues within the admission protocols of the Ghana School of Law, to the extent that our committee, which were deputy ranking at the time and later ranking, had to be engaged. This matter came here. We made interventions. Eventually, we succeeded in taking interview out of the process, so that if you write the exams and you succeeded, then you could gain admission. But another troubling event occurred, that to the extent that persons who didn't even write the exams at all got admitted, so much so that the General Legal Council itself saw it fit to set up a subcommittee. The disciplinary committee had to set up a subcommittee to look into this matter, and a report was generated. It was established that as many as 11 students or more got in through the back door. That phrase was what was captured in the report. So it generated a lot of debates to ask for reforms. And the current Attorney General, then the ranking member, I believe, we even got together to do a private members bill in the 7th and 8th Parliament. We didn't succeed. But today I'm happy we are here. So it's important that we bring reforms, but we are not saying it is an easy route to freedom. No. The exams will still be tough, the exams will still be stiff, but we are opening access, we are increasing the access that persons can have the opportunity to sit for the national bar exams once you are adequately prepared by your various faculties. So, Speaker, this is a major policy decision by the government, and I'm happy that the House is prepared to move to, when we adopt the report by the committee, we'll do consideration, deal with the issues, the many amendments that have been proposed, we'll deal with them. And so that we can eventually take it through the third reading and have it passed. Speaker, what is important is that in terms of quality, the faculties and the various schools, as they want to be called these days, are being put on notice because the deans have been involved, that you must enhance your libraries, you must enhance your faculty members' qualifications and all that. All those criteria will be set by the law. So they've instituted processes to enable those who don't have those minimum requisite qualifications to quickly do so. So it's a major reform. And Speaker, you'll be surprised to hear that some of the LLB holders that we produce here, who are denied by some limitations from gaining access to our only professional law school now, they travel to the Gambia, they top the class. Even if they don't top the class, they are among the upper quartile qualifying, picking the awards. They go to Rwanda, they pick awards. They go to Malawi, Botswana, because we are of the same common law jurisdiction. They do well. Sierra Leone, and that one I'll leave that for my boss to comment on. You meet our students, and they are passing the bar in those jurisdictions with flying colors. The tragedy is that when you come back home, you cannot be entered onto the role of lawyers here because you have to do what we call the post-call. The post-call is so expensive. And I don't know how come we spent that £6,000 for many years, but it's spent that £6,000 equivalent in cedis. So you may take the opportunity to go and train in the law outside. When you get back home, it's expensive to really do the post call. And so it's become another avenue to sieving the ordinary person's opportunity from qualifying. So, Speaker, I won't say much because the fights, the battles that we waged today, we are seeing is coming to fruition and we are happy. So we want to say thank you to all the stakeholders, Speaker, including yourself. I know the things we went through, but we shepherd this, deal with the amendments and have it passed so that the reforms can be implemented. We are not saying it's a foolproof system, but it will come with some challenges. We'll have the opportunity to tidy them up as we implement the new reform legislation. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. And this is well anchored in Article 25, Mr. Speaker, 25(1) D.E. thereabout of the Constitution. So it's well anchored in our constitutional provisions that we must create wider access, equitable access, equal opportunities for our educational opportunities that are available in this country. Speaker, with these words, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Yes, Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me join colleagues to recommend to this House to adopt this report because year after year, the issue of access to professional legal education has been a problem, a perennial problem. And this House received several petitions from association of students who had written the examination, who had failed to get into the law school, and who felt unfairly treated. And at that point, I recall that even the General Legal Counsel had to carry out some reforms in the examination process with a view to introducing some level of accountability, fairness, and justice in the process. But once it dealt with the issues of accountability in the writing of the exams, the marking of the scripts, and the determination of results, it did not deal fundamentally with the question of access. That question was a function of the structure of the system. When we were students, we got into the law faculty automatically, not automatically, we got into the law faculty after sixth form. And at that time, there was only one law faculty in the whole country, the law faculty of the University of Ghana. So all the sixth form schools in the country, after you wrote WAEC, A-level, the law faculty will take only 100 students. 100 students. Only 100 students for the first year. For the first year. To determine whether you will be a law student to graduate with LLB or not, you had to do well in first year university exams. If you did well in first year university exams, you were likely to fall among the first 60. And it is the first 60 who were offered the LLB degree, the course. The rest will be BA students. They will be sent to all the other faculties, but they will be allowed to do certain courses like jurisprudence and etc. at the law faculty, which automatically enable them to go to the Makola, those days we call them law school.
Leader, yours is better. In our case, 150 students, and at the end of the first university examination, they will admit 60, 90, must find their way outside the law faculty.
Yeah. So, at different stages, you will see that the mechanism for sieving took place at different levels. In the past, it was getting into the university itself. Once you got to the university law faculty and you managed to scale through first year, invariably, all those who scale through first year will end up at the Ghana School of Law. That was the practice. Then, later on, as we liberalized, private universities emerged, and they also started running law degree programs. And their products also wanted to go into Makola. And that is how, initially there was exams actually for mature students, those who had degrees and were workers and wanted to go into Makola, yes. They wrote exams to come in. But then as the private universities started offering law degrees, and there was pressure, that's how the system was opened so that at least they could also participate in the exams in order to get into Makola Law School. And that is where we started having the problems. So what government has decided to propose to this House to consider is that since we have liberalized tertiary education and we have many private universities offering law degrees, and they've been accredited to offer law degrees, then we cannot maintain a monopoly of the legal education program in the Ghana School of Law. We need to open up that monopoly. So all the other universities, if they meet the appropriate criteria and standards, they will also be accredited to run programs that will allow their products to automatically write the bar exams. So this is the greatest opportunity that could ever be offered. The only thing is that we must ensure that all those universities that offer law degrees maintain the requisite standards, because we don't also want, in the process of liberalizing, to allow standards to fall. So that is the major issue that in this legislation we must tighten to ensure that law faculties accredited to offer the program must maintain the standards. That way, every university that has a law faculty can have their products write the bar exams, and then if they pass, they will be called to the bar, enrolled. Let me indicate that we are not saying that many more people will pass the bar exams. And we're also not saying that it will lead to an automatic increase in the number of people to be enrolled every year. The only thing we are guaranteeing is that everybody who has a law degree from a university accredited to offer law will have an opportunity to also write the bar exams. That, I think, is what we are guaranteeing. The second issue of increasing the numbers is a function of the regulators. So we try as much as possible to look at how we can increase the numbers. If you look at the ratio of lawyers to the population, it is very, very, very high. In most jurisdictions, in America, in most European countries, in Canada, you have invariably a ratio of 1 lawyer to about 300 people. In most jurisdictions. Here, the reports I'm getting is an indication that it is 1 lawyer to 2,000. In fact, some say 5,000. Some say 5,000 to 7,000. But I've also seen statistics that place it at, 2,000. But if you look at all those who have graduated, we don't know how many who have passed on. But if you look at the role, you may use that. but the question is whether they are actually in the country. So yes, your statistics may indicate that, oh, if you look at all those who have been qualified and then you divide the population by that number, you may get 2,000. But the reality may be that there are many who are not in the jurisdiction. So the actual ratio could be 5,000, 7,000 to a lawyer. And so we need to also increase the numbers so that district assemblies, companies, corporations, traditional authorities can all have access to lawyers, because in all these places where there is some administration of justice, what happens invariably is that the absence of lawyers tend to delay proceedings and speedy, trials. And so we need to increase the numbers. So I recommend to colleagues that we should approve and adopt this report. Later on, when we go to consideration stage, we'll look at all the proposals and find ways of fine-tuning them to produce a legislation that will stand the test of time. We are not the first to do this. This has been the practice in the United States for a very long time. So it's not new. There shouldn't be fears by those in the profession. I have always said that maintaining professional standard is not just a function of the training program. Professional standards are even better maintained by the judges in the courtroom. Because when your teachers have finished with you, depending on how you pass exams, there are many of us who will wait, and the day before will commit everything to memory, go pass, and the following morning we forget. So depending on how you pass the exams, the training itself in the classroom is no guarantee that you will maintain standards. It is the vigilance of the judges in court that will get the practicing lawyers to sit up, do the right thing, and then the standards will improve. And then the Bar Association also making sure that law firms are well organized, so that in law firms you will have seniors who will have time to tutor and train the younger ones so that they will improve their performance in the profession. So it's a lifelong thing, starting from the training in school to training in the courtroom and training in the law firm and at the bar. So if you just focus on education alone and fear that standards will fall because you are opening the floodgates in terms of access to writing the exams, I don't think that would be a fair analysis. Even in America where they are doing it, there's no indication that professional standards are low. So I urge colleagues to adopt the report, and I want to commend the Minister for bringing this bill to Parliament. This is a major promise of the NDC government. The NDC government has promised all those holding degrees in law that we will create a fair and equitable platform that will give them access to being called to the bar. And we are living up to our promises and our commitments. And that is why this bill is here. And I want to assure the students out there that we will do whatever it takes within this meeting of this Parliament to have this legislation enacted into law. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, before putting the question and to avoid taking part in the debate, some of us have suffered a lot and can only say this bill is coming at the right time. Honorable members, there are instances where in the budget it will be indicated the number of students that will be enrolled into the Ghana School of Law, and at the same time they will budget the number of students that will fail. So sitting at the middle of the third row, we have difficulty. Because if you say you'll be admitting 200 students, but out of the 200 students, 100 will be called to the bar before the examination, you are telling me 100 will fail. So we had our own challenges, and I believed this is the way to address the issue. With this, I'll put a question. AG, you want to conclude?
Right, Honorable Speaker. I want to take the opportunity to thank honorable members, the able chairman of my Committee on Constitutional and Legal Affairs, for the good work that has been done on this bill, and for all the commendations. I was very happy that my colleague, the Honorable Tony Mia, said that this was a wonderful opportunity coming from the opposition. I thought that was very reassuring. And this is because the bill, as the Honorable Majority Leader has pointed out, it accords with the letter and spirit of the Constitution in Article 25 to create equality of opportunity for every one of our citizens desirous of becoming lawyers. The Honorable Majority Leader has described how strenuous it was for people to become lawyers in the past. But though it was a very strenuous system, it also guaranteed automatic entry to the law school if you were qualified enough to go through the LLB program. What this bill does is to clear the bottleneck, which is the monopoly of the Ghana School of Law, and also the so-called entrance exam that made it virtually impossible for even students who graduated with first class from very reputable universities to get into the Ghana School of Law. So, Mr. Speaker, the innovations introduced by this bill are very clear for everyone to see. We are introducing an accreditation program that will make sure that it is not every mushroom LLB school that will produce lawyers who will go on to write the bar exam. There will be accreditation and quality control to ensure that if there is a university producing LLB candidates, those candidates would have gone through a training that is either equivalent to or better than what I went through or what the Majority Leader went through before becoming lawyers. Mr. Speaker, we are also introducing the National Bar Exam so that those who go through the law practice training course at the universities, the accredited universities, can all write the National Bar Exam, which will be a standardized exam, that will be administered by the Council for Legal Education and its Bar Examination Committee. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Majority Leader has already made it abundantly clear that it is not true that this country has too many lawyers. There is this misperception out there that there are too many lawyers in this country. As the Honorable Majority Leader has pointed out, in the United States of America, the lawyer to residents or citizen ratio is 4 lawyers to 1,000 residents or 1,000 citizens in America. Here, it is 1 lawyer to 5,000 plus citizens. And so, Mr. Speaker, there is no oversupply of lawyers in this country. And so what the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing is to create a system that will provide equality of opportunity for everyone who desires to be a lawyer, but at the same time maintain quality control such that we'll be producing some of the best lawyers on this planet Earth. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge everyone to support the motion for the adoption of the report, and also to actively take part, especially the lawyers, take part in the refinement of the bill, so that when it comes out and it is passed into law, it will be one that will stand the test of time. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for this opportunity, and I thank members for their participation.
Honourable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is as many as are in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted.
An act to establish the Council for Legal Education and Training to regulate legal education in the country, provide the curriculum and standards for legal education, and provide for related matters.
Honourable members, the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 is accordingly read a second time. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think we were scheduled to start at 12. So far as the records are concerned, it was 12. We were late, but it was 12. So technically, we've done 5 hours. So we're in your hands.
Honourable Majority Leader, I beg to differ. So you may move a motion for amendment, for adjournment.
Well,
So you move a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House be adjourned to tomorrow, 12 in the noon.
Yes.
Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. As many as are in favor of the adjournment, motion for adjournment, say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, this House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, 4th February 2026 at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, following the ayes having it.